So, you're thinking about buying a new car. That's awesome. It's a huge deal. But listen, that sticker price, that's really just the starting line. Today, we're going to dig into what it really costs to own a car. Because the hidden expenses, well, they can add up to a pretty shocking number every single year. Let's dive in.
So let's just ask the question straight up. How much is a new car really going to set you back each year? I'm not talking about just the monthly payment. I mean everything. The gas, the insurance, maintenance, all those little things you forget about. What's the real number? All right, here it is. According to a really detailed analysis from AAA, the average cost to own and operate a brand new car is $11,577 a year. Let that sink in. That's almost $1,000 a month. Now, yeah, that number's actually down a little from last year, but don't let that fool you. There is a lot more going on behind that number. Yeah, see, that single number is actually hiding a pretty wild story. It's like a financial tug of war. On one side, you've got falling gas prices, which is great. You're saving money at the pump. But on the other side, you've got these stubborn insurance hikes and, get this, brand new fees you probably never even saw coming. Okay, so here's our game plan for breaking this all down. We're going to talk about why the sticker price is basically a lie. Then we'll hit the biggest cost of all, depreciation. We'll look at filling up your tank versus keeping your car covered. Then we'll get into financing your drive. The new monthly fees, yes, that's a thing now. And finally, we'll put it all together to figure out your real annual cost. All right, first up, let's tackle the absolute heavyweight champion of car ownership costs, depreciation. This is the big one. It's the single largest expense you'll have, and you will never, ever get a bill for it. So, what exactly is depreciation? It's pretty simple, actually. It's just the gap between what you paid for your car and what it's worth when you decide to sell it. You know that feeling? The second you drive a brand new car off the lot, poof, it's already worthless. That value that just vanished into thin air, that's depreciation. So, how much are we really talking about here? Well, on average, a new car loses $4,334 in value every single year. That's more than $11 a day just gone, just for having the car parked. It is by far the biggest single cost of owning a new car. It's bigger than gas, it's bigger than maintenance, it's probably bigger than your insurance, just a massive invisible expense. Okay, next up, let's look at two of the big costs you do see every month, filling up the tank and paying your insurance. And right now, these two are pulling your budget in completely opposite directions. One is actually giving you a bit of a break, while the other, well, it's probably costing you more than ever. So here's the good news. The U.S. Energy Information Administration is actually forecasting that gas prices are going to fall, down to an average of just $3 a gallon in 2026. That is real money back in your pocket every time you fill up. But here's the catch. Car insurance rates are just stubbornly high. And you want to know why? It's because our new cars are packed with all this expensive tech. You get into a tiny fender bender, and suddenly you're replacing thousands of dollars worth of sensors and cameras. That drives repair costs and your premiums way, way up. And you know, where you live plays a huge role in what you end up paying. Just look at this. The national average for full coverage is around $2,500 a year. But if you're a driver in Nevada, you could be paying over $4,000. Meanwhile, someone in Vermont might be paying just over $1,500. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Your zip code has a massive impact on your insurance bill. All right, on to the next major expense, financing. You know, the loan you take out to buy the car in the first place. And how much you pay in interest really boils down to two big things: your credit score and, interestingly enough, a new tax law that might actually help you out. This table right here just lays out how critical your credit score is. It's no joke. If you've got a super prime score, we're talking an interest rate under 5%. But if your score drops down into that deep subprime category, look at that. Your rate could skyrocket to almost 16%. Over the life of a car loan, that difference is literally thousands and thousands of extra dollars in interest. But here's that little bit of good news I mentioned. There's a new development that could help take the sting out of those high interest rates. A recent law, starting in 2025, has introduced a potential tax break that lets some buyers deduct the interest they pay on their new car loan. That could be a really big deal. Now hold on, there are some very specific rules you got to know about. First, it's only for new personal use vehicles, so no used cars, no business vehicles. The max you can deduct is $10,000 a year, and it does start to phase out for higher incomes. But here's the real kicker, the one you have to watch out for. the vehicle's final assembly has to be in the United States. You can usually find this right on the car's window sticker or by checking the VIN online. And now for a category of costs that honestly didn't even exist a few years back. I'm talking about monthly subscriptions for features that are already physically built into your car. Yeah, welcome to Car Ownership 2.0. This is a massive shift in what it even means to own something. I mean, just look at some of these examples. Carmakers are literally putting features behind a monthly paywall now. Toyota's charging $8 a month for remote start on some of its cars. BMW wants $12 a month for your high beams to work automatically. Volkswagen will even let you rent extra horsepower on its electric ID3 for a monthly fee. The hardware is already in the car you bought, you're just paying a monthly fee to switch it on.
Which really leads to this kind of crazy question, right? Is your car's performance becoming a subscription? We're all used to subscribing to Netflix or Spotify. But are we really entering a world where core things like comfort features or even horsepower aren't something you own anymore, but something you just rent? Okay, so we've torn apart all these individual costs. We've looked at depreciation, insurance, subscriptions, the whole shebang. Now, let's put all the pieces back together so you can figure out the true price tag for your own car. Here's a super simple way to think about it. Step 1, you have to factor in depreciation. Just start with that big invisible average of about $4,300 a year. Step 2, get real insurance quotes. Don't guess. Prices are all over the place. 3, estimate your fuel and maintenance costs based on how you actually drive. 4, add your loan interest, and remember to check if you qualify for that new tax break. And finally, number 5, budget for those new subscription fees. Don't let them sneak up on you. You know, an industry expert, Mike Balashikana, really hit the nail on the head. He said, your monthly payment is just the start. All that other stuff, insurance, maintenance, gas, that adds thousands more to your annual bill. He's absolutely right. So, we'll leave you with this thought. Now that you're armed with a much deeper understanding of the real costs, from the invisible hit of depreciation to those sneaky new subscription fees, the question changes, doesn't it? It's not just about what car you can buy. It's about what car you can truly afford to own year in and year out. And that right there is the real bottom line.